Hopi danki pa abing awetardi, pa nos topa un rato assina nos papia tocante kiko ta vai suceder anya kinanang durante e festival kuta sina hopi espera pa Aruba kuta Soul Music Festival. E anya kinanang ta prometede ta un tremendo anya atroe, anto nel momento aqui me quer introduzir the person behind the machine, Mark Atkins, Soul Music.
Thank you, Tita. I just want to say bon tardi. That's as much as I know. But I want to say thank you again for having us here. We're thrilled to join us for our celebration of our 21st annual Soul Beach Music Festival. That's the 21st annual Soul Beach Music Festival. You know, this is really a testament to the government of Aruba, to ATA, to all the local companies that worked with us, the hotels, and most of all to the Aruban people. To do anything for 21 years is an accomplishment. I mean, it is my longest relationship. Soul Beach has now grown from a small event on the beach to taking over the port and spreading throughout the whole island. And I just want to give you a round of applause for all the work the media here has done in supporting it, and all the companies that are here. So you guys have been excellent hosts, and now you can tell from the way that people act when they come to the island, they think they're part of your family. So all of our people from Soul Beach back home, they are now, I guess, unofficial Arubans. So thank you again for allowing us to be part of the Reuben family. I mean, we started this here in 2003. In 2001, we began in Miami. We moved to Aruba in 2003. And, we were committed to grow the festival according to what Aruba Tourism Authority really wanted. So a lot of festivals are designed based on just music festivals and, coming together to do a concert. It really was a team of how do we market the island to, at that time, it was a small niche market that was an African-American traveler in the U.S. that had not, been as big of a percentage of the travel to Aruba. So we set our goal at not only getting people to travel to Aruba, but then, how do we get them to stay for more than just 2 days of a concert? And then we set our goals to, how do we get them to not only stay 2 days and travel to Aruba, but how do we get them to travel to different parts of the island? So the goal was to expand it so it included more of the island and more than just a music festival that sits in maybe one park from 12 to 2 in the morning and not spread the business all over the island. So people had to learn how to use, the map at that time, the taxi cabs, everything to learn the way around the island just to find the next event. So we're still going after those goals, and we've expanded them now to include things that ATA has hoped for the future. We continue to bring almost 30 to 40% of first-time visitors to Aruba. I mean, that's a big chunk of the people that come by. We call them newbies. If you ever look on our social media, they're kind of have their own little clique. It's all the newbies. Their first time here in Aruba, they're like, they're like babies coming on the island. They're old babies. They're older babies, but they're coming here with their eyes wide open, like, where do I go? What's going to be the party? Where do I stay? And that excitement has created a buildup leading to Soul Beach, where our social media, we have several fan clubs. We have groups that are setting up their own travel groups. We have people who plan marriages, for that weekend. So, it's really kind of grown in a way that's more organic to a festival as opposed to a, for instance, an event that is like Coachella back home, which is mainly a location. You come into that location and you leave that location. It's hosted in one location. But here it is island-wide, and everybody pretty much has to learn at least something about other parts of the island. We have encouraged since Wi-Fi became available, we encouraged engagement. One of the ways in which we have increased so many tourists over the years is that people are just seeing this at home all week, and they're being bombarded with, like, you should have been here. You know, they've got their phones up and they're showing the parties, they're showing the concerts, and they're talking to their friends. Some of them even fly at the last minute. You know, we have last minute visitors that come in on Saturday because they just can't take the pressure of not being there. So the engagement has become such a part, and we thank SATAR for, you know, having upgraded the, you know, the Wi-Fi, our ability at the stadium, and also all over the island. We're able to now engage at the beach parties, show, you know, a lot of times they're streaming live on Instagram or Facebook and telling their friends all about it. So we don't have to do as much because we've got a whole troop out there of people that we consider the Soul Beach family. You know, so one of the main goals too, of course, is to create lifetime of memories, special memories that they can't experience anywhere else. And that's the thing that you can't really manufacture. It really takes what you have here. You have a magic. You have the beauty. You have the ease in which people handle the tourists that come in. I'm sure you're seeing new tourists and each one feel like, well, they really were thinking about me this week. They take it as like they've come to their home away from home. And we see the difference, and we see that that's why the growth is different than other locations. The return on investment, of course, as any investment like this, it's been major over the years. Thank God we've been able to deliver in terms of tourists and growing their average length of stay. And also the type of tourists that we bring down. They spend, some of them save all year, some of them have expendable cash. But we do know that week, they are all over at the shopping centers. They are all over at the bars. That whole week is a spending frenzy. And over the last 20 years, we have dropped our tourists have dropped 220 million plus into the economy of Aruba. You know, just last year, according to the survey, 25 million was dropped over what used to be 5 days, but now on average is 6-day stays. We also have generated almost 27 million over the last 20 years in promotional value. So the combination of what you get immediately back on a return on investment, plus the promotion that goes back to the States, you know, brought in 7,100 tourists last year. So that was like our biggest number in the history. I know the pandemic helped because people were just anxious to get out. But what happened is they got here and we delivered. You know, the time that they had last year, again, I think after doing this sometimes for 18 years, people take it for granted. You know, they come in and they, okay, we're just coming to another festival. After having to be at home for 2 years, I can't even describe the amount of comments that we had about, you know, this was just the best thing coming back to Aruba, and you guys were one of the first to, you know, take that risk, and you also had it very well planned in terms of the testing and everything that was laid out for people to come, so they felt safe to come in for that weekend. And thank God we made it through the weekend. They had a great time, and people, you know, stayed healthy. So last year was a banner year. We again produced 15 to 20 events last year. The average length of stay is about 6.5, and that means people come in Tuesday, they don't leave to Tuesday. You know, we've got people that come in 10, 12 days, you know. Some hotels don't even sell less than a 5-day stay during that weekend. And again, this is a big transition from where we were in 2003, where, you know, we were trying to make sure people came here for 2 days, 3 days. The travel and everything starts booking up early now. So again, I think we've reached most of our goals, and then one of the key goals that we had for this year was to for the last 20 years was to generate enough interest that they come all year round. And if you look around, if you track what's going on now, there is a major African American contingency that comes all year round. Soul Beach, you know, they come to as well, but there's also a generation of I would say children, but they're 20, 30 years old now, that's parents grew up on Soul Beach. All they heard when they went home was that that they had a great time at Soul Beach. They're the next generation that thinks Aruba is the place to go from the African American market. And you see that, again, in the hotels, you see that in the responses that I've had over the years from a lot of the vendors that we work with, that, okay, we thought Soul Beach was going on in all of May, because all of May was packed. But again, that's a testament to how much they have enjoyed it over the years. How do we produce this and promote it? And beside the word of mouth being so great now, we still go back to our basics. Radio still is one of the keys. Even though a lot of people have kind of gone away from radio, when you combine what radio is doing and getting the word out in your local levels, plus the digital reach that they have added to the mix. People like Frank Ski, who's one of our biggest DJs that comes down every year from Atlanta. He's the #1 DJ in Atlanta. All of them are still part of our team. They've just kind of gone viral. The Atlanta market actually has now been syndicated to 12 other markets. So Frank Ski is also in DC and several other major markets, as well as some B markets like Birmingham, that we haven't been able to reach before. That's just happened over the last 2 years, and that's been an important part of it. The sweepstakes, the syndicated radio, but of course, the grassroots marketing is still there. Where you have people who have lived the experience. You pay influencers to come down, and then once they're here, we don't have to set the tone for them. They talk it up themselves. We don't have to give them a script. They're excited about being here. On our digital promotions, we've grown now where our Facebook is 95,000 strong, and that's, again, a testament to people enjoying and loving the event. Instagram is at 11.2 followers. We still have, our direct links, which are call to action for Soul Beach, sometimes takes you to different travel partners where they can book. In the past, we've done everything for charter planes through those charter partners to special discounts, packages that are only available to our clientele. The club Soul Beach, which is our email list, is about 50,000 strong now. They're the first to receive the information. And if anybody, especially media, if you haven't joined the Club Soul Beach membership, you can go on the website and just register with your email, and you'll be the first to get the blast. And a lot of times when we're changing what the event's going to be, what the location's going to be, they're the first to find out. And they're a loyal fan base. And usually most of the 50,000 have traveled at some point over the last 20 years to Soul Beach. The affinity sites, still exist that are huge in places like Houston Black and City Alert. These are major email blasts and pretty much tastemaker clubs that exist in the major cities. They still are partnering with us to blast, as well as, we do, a lot of branding back home. Like I said, the high-speed internet, being able to send back the information right away at the concerts. Some cases we've been allowed to catch some of it live from the performances. And we've been able to brand the site and brand our sponsors and brand the hotels. And in many cases, even though, they're not paid to do it, which the talent, the celebrities themselves are pushing and highlighting places on islands. So, these are people that get 500,000, 300,000 to talk about any given, corporation. So we're happy that because of the excitement here, their comfort here, we've been able to expand in social media. Then we have what is kind of like the runaway train, where fan clubs all over the country are, telling us what to do. We want Anthony Hamilton. We have fan bases that have grown to 20,000 people. These are just fan clubs all over the country that really love Aruba. They have something called Aruba meetups. You're in Atlanta, come in for a happy hour. There are Aruba meetups going on all over the country, just getting ready, starting in June all the way up until the festival. So again, I think they think they're Aruban already, but we're happy that they're doing this. They promote. Some of them have gone to places we haven't gone. Z-Overs became like an overnight hit. Z-Overs.
Z-Overs.
Okay, I'm saying it right. But, that became a hit once one of the people started tweeting about it. One of the people started posting about it. And there's different places like that on the island that has just organically become huge. we still, at our Facebook page, do the postings, but we have been seeing a lot more, if you look of our talent post. Mary J, with her millions of followers, she not only posts 2 times, she actually shot a video here last year, and then they posted about the video. So that was not planned. That was kind of last minute. We got a call and she was bringing in a crew, and that she loved the look and the site, and those are the kind of organic promotions that we continue to get. We still use traditional print, like Via Magazine has covered us now for several years. US Today has still been nominating us one of the top festivals in the Caribbean over the years, and we're still very, very active at attracting the print. And most of the print is digital now, but the magazines that have brands and mean a lot to our community back home have been working with us. This year, like in past years, we're going to launch the Soul Beach app, and the Soul Beach app is coming out on May 1st. We'll do notifications to everyone about it. It will have everything for the map of where all the locations are. If you have a point of notification for people that get here late and they're trying to figure out where to go, we give reminders, and we even do pop-up promotions where you get here in 20 minutes and you can get your free drink at a happy hour. But people really have been responding to the app, and it's grown in popularity, but especially with our younger generation. They don't go anywhere without the app. If they don't have that map and that app, they might not leave the room. So, we've been trying to really target, that next generation in the way that we book the show and the way that we promoted it over years. The call to action is really soulbeach.com. All the radio, all the print, Facebook, everything takes you back to Soul Beach, to our site where you can book, tickets, you can get scheduled events. You also have the ability to do all the VIP packaging. So soulbeach.com is our call to action. Everything else is generated through there. And what we've seen this year is that it started to rise and increase in hits as early as September. So as soon as the, I think, airlines announced their rates for May, it went through the roof. And people are booking earlier and earlier, even without knowing the artists. So there's been a trust that's built up that we're not going to let them down, that we're going to come through with the strongest artists possible, and that they know they're going to have a great time with their friends here on top of that. So the combination makes it so that we can start selling early. We can offer specials early, and people are responding. We're not waiting till the last minute. So this is just kind of the general overview of the scheduled events. We'll have locations in there for you over the next couple of weeks. And we'll talk about the media tab that we have that's active, that you can go to our website and you'll see everything that gets downloaded over time. But again, like you see there's already 18 to 20 events scheduled for the week of Memorial Day. But the main event, we've been doing this for many years. I can come up and speak, but they really come for the talent. That is really kind of how we got this started and the way that we launched it. And we've been very blessed to have not only some of the greatest sounds and greatest artists, we've had the future come here. So I don't know if you guys remember in 2019, we brought a little young lady named Her to the island, and everybody was like, Her? What does Her mean? And they were asking about her name, and now she's $1 million artist. She's doing stadiums. She's everywhere from the Grammys to the Oscars. Ella May, who has gone through the roof. The Lettucey, who's now has won jazz, all kind of jazz Grammys. We started with people here that are the next generation, but because we had such a great relationship with radio stations, tastemakers back home, we get to see them when they're in those little dives, playing at the little club, and watch them grow enough to become a local, opening act for one of our majors. So Her was the opening act for Charlie Wilson. So you got that multi-generation. Ella May was the opening act for John Legend. And it was Charlie Wilson's first time seeing her, and her first time seeing Charlie Wilson. They went on to collaborate on some writing after that. I know Ella May did a song with John Legend, and that was kind of during the time that we were booking them together. So there's a lot of synergy between that multi-generational promotion. So this year, with that in mind, we kind of try to keep with the tradition. And here's the artist list. We're kicking off on Friday. We've got one picture that that we've got to add to it, but because he just popped in today. But the headliner for the comedy night is none other than Tiffany Haddish. And if anybody knows who Tiffany Haddish is, she's Girls Trip. She was presenter at Grammys. She's been, I think three-time Image Award winner. She's just got a lot of hits. I mean, she's got movies out there on movies. She's getting ready to do her next hit with Kevin Hart. And I think Girls Trip was the first African American starring movie to go over 100 million for a comedy. So her, Jada Pinkett, and Queen Latifah, they made history on this. She's been out here once before just to promote Girls Trip. We've had her on the main stage, but this is our first time getting her in the comedy stage. And with her, we're also going to have a return, but now he's coming back, on his magic carpet. He's now become so big it was hard to get him this year, and that's Deon Cole will be on the show. He's had a Netflix special that just went through the roof that came out this year. He's on several TV shows, one of the few actors that's on 2 TV shows at the same time, Blackish, and now he has a new show coming out. So again, this might be our last time getting Tiffany Haddish and Deon Cole to come on island because they're blowing up even. Their schedules are really packed. But we've been blessed again to have them. And then Chase Anthony, who came and did the feature act last year, he now coming off of the show Bigger, and he's got a movie coming out in April called Pretty Stone with MTV. And so he's been working with us for several years. Chase started as giving out flyers on island. And now he's come into his own as a TV star, a comedian that's traveling all over the country. Our host for the weekend is going to be Chris Spencer, who's been here several years. He has also a movie coming out in April, along with J.B. Smoove. And he's going to be hosting 2 of the biggest nights, the Saturday and Sunday, where we're bringing back, the undeniable, always working Roots. The Roots is just probably one of the few remaining just essential band members that have been playing together for 25 years. They do everything from the 70s music to now. And if you look at their collaborations, everybody from Erykah Badu to Mos Def, they just got a wide range, and you can see them on Jimmy Kimmel as well at night. So they're hardworking people. In fact, they're going to do an episode of Jimmy Kimmel, then fly in to do the show. I mean, Jimmy Fallon. Get it right. Jimmy Fallon. I'm getting the Jimmys wrong. But Jimmy Fallon is definitely, they made a whole genre for him. They made his show one of the hottest shows because the music they provided, that was one of the first times that you had such a band. And he's still going strong. We also have on that night Anthony Hamilton. And if you're talking about soulful, old school but new school singing, Anthony Hamilton with songs like Charlene, You Made a Fool Out of Me. He's got those songs that people are begging in the club on. You come out, you slow dance, and he's been with us when he first started, and now coming back at this level, we're happy to have him. 2-time Grammy winner Anthony Hamilton. Our main event on Sunday is, to me, one of the greatest voices in the world. I love her. I followed her since she came out with her first album, who was Jill Scott. And Jill Scott is not only known, she's respected by other artists for how pure her voice is, the hits that she's had over the years, and the band that she brings here. She's just a quality musician, singer, but she's also now, multi-hyphen. She's an actress and has won Emmys. So she's on TV acting. She's still a great and one of the most creative writers out there right now too, making hits for other people. You know, you got to come out and see Jilly from Philly on Sunday night. It's going to be one of those shows you'll never, ever, ever forget. And opening up in terms of next generation is Lucky Day. Lucky Day is that crooning voice, but he's got that hip hop, you know, undertone. He was nominated for Grammy last year with his first album. And if you haven't heard him, you know, download the remake that he did of Earth, Wind & Fire, You Can't Find Love. It's really amazing. In fact, Earth, Wind & Fire, once they heard his cut, they came back on and asked him to come to the studio and remix it with them. And he's performed it several times, including on the CNN big festival that they did this summer. He's respected by all the older, you know, singers, but he's got a new school way of presenting it. And we're just happy to see that there's a whole nother generation of R&B coming up that's going to be hitting over the next few years. So that's going to be our lineup. We're going to continue to give you information on the DJs for the after parties over the weeks. We'll continue to give you new locations with pop-up locations that as we get closer, and special ticket that are offered only for a select few for some of our smaller events. But stay tuned and go to soulbeach.com and join Club Soul Beach. One of the things that we really wanted to kind of talk about this year, and for some reason this, let me see, it's showing up here. There it is that, you know, we always try to get up on new technology. And one of the things that we've done, you know, in the States 4 or 5 years ago, we transferred over to online ticketing, and everything became online ticketing, no hard tickets. We were trying to do that here, but we weren't able to do it without our people from the States coming in and buying the local discount tickets. So thank God this year with SayTower and Pay Away, we were able to bridge that gap. And they've come up with an app that allows us to have locals buy tickets online, and, you know, easy access. And because of that app, anybody that buys the regional tickets with Pay Away will have their own individual entrance line at the concerts. So you'll be able to come straight to almost a VIP line and come in as long as you have a payaway.com, pay.away ticket. But I wanted to bring up some of the people from SayTower to talk a little bit about it, because I know it is a new technology, fairly new technology. We want to make sure that people know that it's available and how to access it. So with that, I'll bring up, you join us.
Buon tardi. Yes, we would like to welcome you to Aruba once again, one of the magnificent festivals on the island every year that we all look forward to. Pay.away is very excited to be able to team up with Soul Beach Music Festival to be able to sell the tickets digitally for our locals this year. So we have been working really closely with Mark and Andre to be able to set up the tickets so they can become available to all the local residents, so they also are able to go to a very wonderful festival for a great price. Pay.away events module has been coming up for the last year. We have hosted over 30 events. This is the one that is going to make us even worldwide, because we have such big international artists, so we are very excited. So it's available 24/7. Just download the application, go to our tickets services. You're able to download buy your tickets. You have it in your ticket holders, and at the entrance, you're able to just redeem your entrance there. So it's very quick, very easy, anywhere, anytime. So we are looking forward to the event, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work together with Soul Beach Music Festival.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. This is a great service. We're looking at what's going to happen in the future in terms of just events, entrances, you know, concessions. There's a lot of opportunities that will open up with this, and we just commend them on how great a job. It's very easy access. You know, it's very straightforward, and I think it's going to be an exciting addition to the event. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And with that, we want to let you know we still do have hard tickets available at ticket outlets. that participating this year is the Cafe, the Plaza, and the Renaissance Marketplace, Craft Coffee and Bar, Fun Miles, Hamaka Sidewalk Cafe, Moomba Beach, Reflections, Sitco, both on Boulevard and at Esselville and Santa Cruz and Palm Beach, and as well as the Ponton Service Station in Ponton and Williams Pancake House in Palm Beach. So those will be the hard ticket locations this year. Tomorrow we'll be going over to do a press conference in Curacao, and they'll be selling tickets. And actually, we've just added Airjet as a sponsor, who will be creating a special airline pattern for people to fly over from Curacao to join us. And then Suriname also Airways has signed on as a sponsor this year, and they're creating a charter plane from Suriname and a special package for this year as well. But none of this could be done without, all of our sponsors. And for the media that's here, we want to let you know that we have USB drives that we'll give you with all this information on it. You'll have the press release, the presentation, and also you have artist videos as well as their bios and photos. But as we update it, we'll be putting up new information and some of the new articles. You can go to the soulbeach.com, and this is going to be the password before you get in. So if you have your phones, if you want to take a picture of the screen, it's going to be 23 Media SBMF. So I think most of you have used this before. It's where we upload, even after the show, some of the live footage of the concerts. You'll be able to use that for this whole year. So as well, you'll have this slideshow on your USB. So I just want to give thank you to our sponsors, to Aruba Tourism Authority. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this every year. I know we put every year. It takes a lot to coordinate all of this. With the hotels, with the amount of staff that comes out. But I wanted to recognize some of the people here. If you could stand, that you work with Soul Beach. If you could just stand up, at least give you a round of applause, Chito and Mundo and Andre, who's the co-producer, and yeah. So again, we want to thank the sponsors, each and every one of you, for coming on. And I just want to say JetBlue, Ahata, AllBlack.tv this year, Renaissance DV Resorts, Eagle Aruba Resorts, the Hilton Resorts, Embassy Suites. First time as a sponsor, and thanks for hosting us this weekend as well. La Cabana, Courtyard Marriott, the Aruba Port Authority, Satar, once again, Kenny, Suriname Airways, Jet Air, Heineken. We have Aruba Trading Corporation and also Romar Trading Corporation as sponsors for beverages. So thanks again to all of our sponsors. Thank you.
Of course. So, this is story. We need to really bear in mind that having such story requires a whole organization behind it. And that's what Soul Music Organization has done throughout the years. It's been a really storybook of building up towards what the Aruba destination and the Aruba Tourism Authority has as a vision. And that has been accomplished throughout the 20 years that the event has been organized. It has created loyalty, but it has created also a real positioning for the destination as a festival fun destination. And people feel at home when they are here. And that's thank you to the Aruban community, and thank you to all those in Aruba that support the event. So it's very important to keep in mind that behind this event, there is a very big machinery in the States as well as on island. And to have it successfully being organized for 20 years in a row, going to the 21st year, is very rare in the Caribbean. Maintaining such an event alive and successful in an area like ours for 20 years is a very hard job. And I want to commend your organization, Mark, for this, especially you, because I know all what you need to put up to, with, and to to get it done the way you get it done. So thank you so much. After 2 years being closed without an event, and you came last year, and it was the best year of soul music. I thought we weren't going to be able to do anything better than last year, but I have seen what you just have presented, and it's promised to be even better than last year. So let's give a real big applause to that organization here and in the States. Thank you so much, Mark. It's a pleasure working with you. Thank you pa atender a tarde, anto nos topa. Sigur durante o evento.
Bom.
Bom.